You know, I got a question here, and I'm being genuinely serious for everybody watching at home. Does anyone remember the Oprah Winfrey interview? You know, the one where Prince Harry and Meghan sat down and made claims about the royal family that insinuated they were racist based off a comment they may have made, which, by the way, still no evidence for happening. Does anyone remember that? I'm genuinely asking because I feel like I'm going crazy at this point, I really do. Do you remember for months we were told to believe that the royal family were this evil institution that was still stuck in the dark ages based off this comment that may have happened that was labelled racist by everybody? Does anyone remember that? You know, people like Piers were criticised and condemned for not believing the claims in the very first place. Meghan got so upset that racism was so much she just had to leave the UK. They're such stunning and brave warriors against said racism. They received an award for going against structural racism. Does anyone remember that? Well, according to Prince Harry himself, the horse's mouth itself, this could just all be one big fat joke. Well, I'm clearly not finding the funny side in it because you're making me feel like I'm going crazy. I'm not exaggerating. Listen to what he's had to say.
In the Oprah interview, you accuse members of your family of racism. You don't even...
No, we didn't.
Well, of...
The British press said that.
Right.
Did Meghan ever mention that they were racist?
She said there were troubling comments about
There was concern about his skin colour.
Right. Wouldn't you describe that as essentially racist?
I wouldn't, not having lived within that family. The way the British press reacted to that was fairly typical. Neither of us believe that that comment or that experience or that opinion was based in racism.
Sorry, it was the press's fault. The press's fault. You know, during that interview, if you go back and watch it, look how many times he mentions the press. But there's only so many times you can blame somebody when you have to look in the mirror yourself, my friend, right? You led everybody down that road. Everybody. You directed us all down that road. You and Meghan. Now you're suddenly saying it's not racist. No. We didn't mean that. It's not racist. So for months, everybody was just hating on the royal family for no reason. You had no part to play in that. And I'm going to be controversial here, but you let royal family members pass away with the assumption in everybody's eyes, well, a lot of people's eyes, that they were racist. And they're no longer here to defend themselves. That to me is one of the most disrespectful things I have ever seen. And there's one man who is still alive to defend himself, Piers. He's come out and hit back at Prince Harry because, well, as in his own words, he lost his job because he didn't actually believe the claims that were made on the Oprah Winfrey interview. So a man that was criticised, condemned in the very first place for not believing them, is now proven right. Look, I know Piers isn't the most liked character, right? I can see that. But even the people that love Meghan and Harry must be sitting there and thinking, well, maybe we just jumped on that a little too quick. But can you really blame them? Because isn't this what Harry and Meghan told everybody to believe? I'm going crazy at this point. Anyway, this is what Piers had to say about the whole situation. Buckle up.
I would like to apologise on behalf of the British press, actually, because he is an unbelievable village idiot, and I think it's all our fault. Honestly, it's not the fact that he was useless at school and got no qualifications, which is why he's doing all this stupid stuff. It's the British press's fault. We're responsible for everything, including his ginger hair, and I'd like to apologise. But let me get this straight on a serious point. The racist British press blamed for 6 hours straight of that Netflix bilge for hounding Meghan out of our racist country, driven at the top by a racist royal family. Apparently, it's the press that's to blame for saying that Meghan Markle's claims of racism were claims of racism. Now, this had consequences, what they said to Oprah Winfrey. I was forced out of my last job presenting Good Morning Britain, a job I really enjoyed, because I said I didn't believe these claims without firm evidence. There wasn't any. And now we get told it wasn't racism. Exactly is what I suspected at the time. Do I get an apology? Does Sharon Osbourne, one of my guests tonight, does she get restored to her job at the CBS show, The Talk? Because she got fired for offering support on Twitter for my right to my opinion, because apparently I'd said racist things. It turned out those racist things were not believing Meghan Markle's racism claims. Now they say they didn't mean racism. So does Sharon get her job back? Will they give back that award that they got for their heroic battle against structural racism in the royal family? Now we know there was no racism. structural or otherwise?
Well, unfortunately, this is just the world we're living in now, man, you know, and it is very unfortunate. One side of the political spectrum can scream racism, oppression, and everybody has to believe them, because guess what? If you don't believe them, you get cancelled. If you don't believe them, you lose your job. If you don't believe them, you're also a racist. How anyone can sit there and still believe what these two are saying is beyond me. I really just don't understand it. You know what I think needs to happen? They need to make a new 6-hour documentary. A new book, hold up, wait. And they should title it Apology. And throughout those 6 hours, they should just name everybody they wrongly got into trouble. They should name everybody that lost their jobs. Sharon Osbourne, Piers Morgan. They should write a 500-page book just apologizing to everybody for all the lies they have told. I cannot believe I have just witnessed Prince Harry say, wait, no, it wasn't racism. Sorry? And this is what I mean when this man has no sense of direction whatsoever. Because unless somebody is holding his hand, telling him how to act, telling him what to say, he doesn't know what to do. Do you think if Meghan Markle was in those interviews, that would have happened? Because I can guarantee you, as soon as he goes to speak, well, actually, no, she wouldn't be like, Harry, no, it was racism. You can only lie for so long before the cracks begin to show. And this is great life advice for everybody, by the way. But it just so happens the cracks in Prince Harry's lies are big enough to sink the Titanic. People were cancelled. People lost their jobs. People were probably banned on social media for not agreeing with you. I don't think people understand the extent of these lies. They have tarnished the royal family name forever based on what? A lie? How can we all sit here and be like, oh, nah, don't worry. And I can tell you now, they will try to gloss over this. Oh, they really will, because I can guarantee you they'll be like, oh, well, it may not be racism, but look over there, we experience misogyny, Meghan, so that's what they will do. And everybody will just suddenly forget about it. I promise you now, come back to this video in 2 years and you'll be like, wow, this guy was onto something. Trust me. This is just what happens when you move into the age of feelings and everybody wants to be offended. Because if you don't agree with it, if you don't believe them, you're not validating their experience. You're not validating their feelings. And the people that got offended on behalf of Meghan and Harry, they should feel just as ashamed as Meghan and Harry, because you allowed them to uphold this narrative. Surely at some point you would think to yourself, well, maybe, the lines aren't connecting here, but no, we must keep going down this road of oppression. I really hope the royal family don't get involved after this. I said this in my previous video. They should just leave it, right? I said many weeks ago that how you treat the situation is you just allow these people to cry. Let them cry and they come crawling back, and soon enough they embarrass themselves. And this is what is now happening. I want this to be my last video on this situation for a while, because it's really just a broken record at this point. You're just repeating the same points over and over again. And, you don't really have to say anything at this point. You just let Prince Harry speak and he just looks like an idiot himself. But what are your opinions, ladies and gentlemen? What are your opinions on Prince Harry openly admitting that, no, it wasn't racism? I want to know. If you have enjoyed today's video, ladies and gentlemen, then please for me, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that big red subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. But until next time, it has been your boy JD. Please for me, make sure to always have a great day and stay safe. I'm out. Peace. See you next time.